Hey everyone! So last week we talked about making your capital letters and the correct way to form those, and today we're going to work on lowercase letters. So I think it probably is pretty hard for you to see this pencil that I've been using, so I'm going to use a marker, but when you're practicing it's really important that you use a pencil because especially if you make a mistake, you're able to erase. So I'm using a marker so you can see, but you need to use a pencil. So I am working in the writing journal again just because this paper in the writing journal is really good for practicing lowercase letters, or not lowercase letters, but any letters with your handwriting. So you are allowed to work in this journal today on this assignment, and you can just work along with me while the video is playing. So if you need to press pause right now to get your supplies, you can do that, and then we'll practice making some letters together. Alright, so on Friday, try to get where y'all can see, we did the capital letters, and you should have some space still left on this page, so you can just come over here and practice the lowercase letters with me. If you for some reason are out of room, then you can go over here and practice doing your lowercase letters. Alright, so the first letter that we're going to practice is A, and you are going to start at the dashed line here and pull back around, up and down, just like that. So your A should touch the bottom red line, and it should also touch the dashed line, but it should not go above that. Alright, for B, we're going to start at that top blue line and pull down, and then go back up and around. When you're writing most letters, your pencil should not leave the paper. Like when I made that B, I just pulled down and pushed back up, then went around. So I didn't have to pick up my pencil at all. Alright, for C, I start at the middle dashed line and pull back and around. For my D, start at the top blue line, pull down, back and around. Alright, when I make my E, I start in between the dashed line and the red line on the bottom, and I'm going to go across and then back up and around. For F, start at the top, pull back down, and then across on the dashed line. For G, and pull back around, up and down below the line and curve. Back up. So G does hang below the line, but most of the letters do not. We'll see if there are possibly a few more that I can think of that will go below that red line. Okay, and for I, we just pull down starting at the dashed line, and then you can lift your pencil and put a dot in the middle of the top blue line and the dashed line. Alright, for J, start at the dashed line, pull down and go around under the red line there, and then go back up and put your dot. I'm sorry if you can hear Tank. He does like to bark. Alright, for my K, it looks like I have a little more room. Remember, if you're ever running out of room, then you need to just go all the way back to the left and start over on the next line. But we write all the way across. We don't start in the middle or stop in the middle. We use the entire line. Alright, so I have room for my K on the end. You may need to go to the next line. You just do what you need to do. Alright, for my K, start on the top blue line and pull down to the red line. And then start at the dashed line and pull in, and then kick out. Alright, I'm going to go now to my next line all the way to the other edge here to make my L. L is very simple to make. Start at the top and pull down to the red line, and there's your L for lowercase l. For the M, Alright, we are going to first start the dashed line and pull down and then push up and go curve, push up, and curve. For your N, pull down, then push up and go over and down. For O, start in the middle of the dashed line again and pull back and go around. Just a circle basically below the dashed line. And all of these letters are planted firmly on that red line. They're not floating. It's kind of like they're a plant. They have to have roots, and their roots is the ground is the red line, and the roots have to touch the ground. Alright, for P, start the dashed line and pull down, then push back up to the top and go around just like that. Alright, Q is just the opposite of P. You're going to start by pulling back and going around like making a C, then going up and closing it and pulling down. Sometimes you'll see a Q like this where it's just a straight, some people call it a tail, straight right here. Other times it'll have a little curve on the end. Either way you see it, it's Q. So you have to know that it can be Q if it's got the curve, or it can be Q without the curve. Alright, for R, start at the dashed line, pull down, push back up, and go around. Or over, not really around. Okay, for S, start at the dashed line and pull back, then go in and around and back. For your T, start at the top and pull down all the way, then cross at the dashed line. For U, pull down and go over and up and then back down. For your V, start the dashed line, go down and back up. For your W, look, I don't have room, so I'm going to go back again to the far left side and start over on a fresh line. Starting at the dashed line, go down, up, down, up. It's like a sideways zigzag kind of, the W. For your X, start at the dashed line and go across and across. So starting up and go down, up and down. For your Y, you're going to start at the dashed line and pull in, and then go to the dashed line and pull down. And finally, Z, start at the dashed line and go across, and then in and across again. And there you have your lowercase letters. Now I know that it's probably really hard to follow along on a video, and it's hard to see what I'm doing. We're just doing the best we can virtually with handwriting, but you can always continue to practice this at home so that your handwriting gets better and better. And just mainly make sure you don't have a lot of floating letters. They're all planted on that red line, and you use the entire line whenever you're using, or whenever you're writing, whether it be letters or a story. You're not starting in the middle and only using a little bit. You're starting all the way on the left and going all the way to the right, then going down to your next line and continuing. So just some things to practice with your handwriting. If you got behind because I was going too fast, you can always rewind and keep on practicing.